And it looks like Eric is showcasing that beautiful ID that we were giving away today. We gave away as a prize last round.
Yep. This round we're going to give away 2 of these dice you may have seen floating around on stream. These nice metal A&R PC dice. Pretty excited for that. I love these things. They're nice and heavy.
Oh, absolutely.
For the most part, pretty visible. I think that's really the only complaint, and that's why FFG did something about dice is because they don't like the visibility. But
but for your local gaming community and stuff, it's just easier a lot of times to use dice than it is to have to, especially things like Temujin contract and
count
all of having to put all those credits there is just I think it a little annoying to have to deal with.
But opposite this new swanky Argus card is some more Red Death in Valencia Estevez.
So what are we thinking with here with Argus? The common build is more like the high number of agendas, right? A lot of the one pointers. Just kind of chip them out, get that false lead scored naked to really put the pressure on their ability to run more than once and more than, beyond the first click.
Right. And I guess the other option, and I should give a shout out to dodgepong here, is a while ago we saw a pretty popular NEH build that was super wide asset, but it was spiky. It was
interesting
stuff like dedicated response team, maybe a snare or two.
Oh, sure.
And that has been seen a little bit in Argus too, where you build a setup where you can res 1 or 2 dedicated response teams after they've decided to go tag me or to steal agendas and take tags.
Right. Well, I definitely anticipate here with Argus we're probably running some sort of boom or probably Scorch, some sort of kill plan here.
Some meat finisher.
Yep. So. We see Consulting Vision in his hand, so the ability to kind of go find the piece that you need to close out the game is always a good thing for them.
And despite what I would say is the surgence of New Angeles City Hall as sort of a solution to the breaking news shenanigans. Mid-seasons, still really good.
Still really good.
So
and again, it's because a lot of people don't really play around it because it's just kind of faded out
really
of the meta.
Hard to do,
Yep. So, and then it looks like Val here is probably playing more standard, probably Ice Carver maybe, standard suite, Data Sucker is what I would anticipate here from her.
Yeah, although I do know for a fact there is more than one Valpocalypse deck in the room.
Yes, I know of at least one. And it's been doing pretty well from talking to that gentleman.
Yeah.
He's had a really good run with it.
Well, but here we go. We see Data Sucker.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Slums. There's a Rebirth in hand. So I think we're going to see more standard stuff.
Yep. So pretty good stuff, Val. Here's what we're going to see here. Which is kind of nice. It's good to have games where you actually get to play Netrunner.
Yeah.
As we showcase, running servers.
Right.
Hitting ice, having to deal with them.
Yeah.
It's a good way to play the game. I kind of like that aspect of it.
Yeah. Turns out when you play Netrunner like you're meant to, it's fun. But we have Rebirth in hand. There's looks like a Temujin contract. He's got a Mimic and maybe even a Parasite. So this is looking like a pretty fast start for Aaron.
So now as Val up against Argus, there's a lot of decks like CTM you know what to turn into, but what to Rebirth into typically against Argus. It's not as straight up as far as your options here.
Yeah, and I think he hasn't seen any remotes really other than a Jackson, so he can't be sure either.
Right.
At this point, but I think Kim is sort of the default.
I think Kim's come to mind.
You kill the Consulting Visit. You kill boom. You can kill anyways, but any of the meat damage, any of the if you knock out a mid-season.
Absolutely. That's game.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Then you just medium dig for the win.
Yep. So I'm guessing Eric probably it's probably Christian there, so anticipating the possibility of some kind of a siphon.
On R&D though.
Yeah, there you go.
So.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Maybe he really wants to stop the mediums, or I'm kind of curious what that upgrade is there.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a position you would typically put upgrades.
Yeah, not at all.
Short of a CVS if you anticipate a lot of medium, but I feel like that'd be too early to put a CVS out there.
And even then, usually you'd want to put it on HQ, so you can just blow it up when you want, as opposed to that first access.
Yep. So we're guessing here, putting in our archives.
Yeah, Temujin just going to probably run and get back 8 credits.
Yep, I think that's just fine. Yep, there we go. And is he going to do the 4th time? Sometimes I like to run twice just to force them to install some ice there on archives.
Right.
You've still made a decent amount of value. You're still forcing them to kind of put the ice where you want it.
Yeah.
Obviously, as I showcased with playing Smoke, you're not really concerned if they throw one ice down there because you're spending, 2 recurring credits anyways, right? So it's really insignificant. You're forcing them to kind of spend something there.
And I'm excited to see Self come back into the meta for that reason. It really changes the decision-making that Corp has to make, and it really makes running interesting because of all the tricks you can pull, and get in even when it looks like you're broke.
Yep.
So
it looks like Eric trying to shut down that archives. Pretty standard play. It's typically what you see when somebody throws Temujin and Archives. They just don't want them to get out those last $8 and get as much value as they can. Especially against a more standard breaker suite.
Yeah.
It's
I think we've seen Scorching Hands from Eric. But he's playing, close to the chest, literally. So it's hard to say what else he's doing.
And Eric's econ really, he really hasn't had anything going. No, so sitting on 9, I don't know. Oh, that's a good res.
Yeah.
Make him lose the click. Yeah. It's not too taxing.
Unless he has something on Peddler. A Yogg on Peddler here would be
that'd be great. Yeah. It's only going to cost you. You're going to break even essentially.
And when he's only on 9 credits, forcing him to spend those 3 to res the Enigma is actually pretty good.
Yep.
So in this case, I would say it's probably about a 50-50 even for both.
Right.
But yeah, Eric really needs to find,
I think,
some money. My guess.
Was that a Psychic Field?
Oh, it could be. Yeah.
I've seen the old Psychic Field into Prisec combo.
Yeah, exactly. And I've seen this a lot from Argus, of course, is that they just drop 2-3 Pricecs into one server to force you to go handle it.
You can't run that because taking 4 tags, even 2 or 3 is, it's difficult to clear all of that. It's very taxing as well, so it really, sets your tempo back.
Here Rebirth goes now.
So we're thinking Kim.
We're thinking Kim, but with 2 assets in there, he might go Wizard. Nope. Okay.
Nope. There it is.
It's a good call. I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, I agree.
If he hasn't already gone wide with assets, then I think you can safely assume that that's not.
So we saw Sweep Speak, which is an interesting splash in Argus.
Very interesting.
I feel like a lot of times there's other econ cards that are more worth it than the 2 influence that this costs.
A restructure.
Yeah, absolutely. Green gets a lot of money. That's kind of one of their things. Their struggle has always been what to do with all of it.
Right.
They have plenty of ice, but none of the ice really do anything.
There's another Enigma. Wow. And he's getting pretty good value out of these.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, we'll have to see what Sweeps does for him. Maybe he's just running all of the money because he knows he needs all of it in order to beat Temujin with a C-Source or mid-seasons or whatever.
Right. Yeah, and that's the hard part with mid-seasons too, is that trying to get that kind of economic lead is just really difficult with the amount of econ that these runners are packing these days.
And the reason that the breaking news 24/7 combos have been so popular, right? You don't need money for those.
No. Yeah, that's why Yellow is good, because you don't care about their econ at that point.
Have 2 tags, close your accounts, and now I can hard hitting you.
Yep.
All without spending any influence.
Oh, and the next turn we can swap these agendas. Yeah, it's as you mentioned earlier in the stream, hopefully it's something they kind of deal with. Find something
they look at and either deal with by bringing in new cards, or maybe directly look at MWL or uniqueness or something. I think the Astro script change.
I think that was great.
Yeah, though Zach Cavis might disagree with us. I think it was probably necessary.
I agree. It's hard to imagine, especially what we witnessed yesterday.
Yeah.
If those decks could run 3
could
Astros,
Astros. 3 Astros, 1 Beal, and 3 breaking news.
Oh, it looks like Aaron here face checking to the Cortex lock.
That's actually ruthless because he has a Grimoire.
Yeah, he's thinking about maybe popping out that Orchid just so he takes 1 less damage here.
Oh,
but
he does have 2 I've had worse in hand. Oh, but it's 6. That's right. It's 6 damage.
Yeah, that's right.
So
wow, that was game. Wow. Okay.
Interesting. Wasn't there was a program on Peddler, was there not?
Well, it would have gotten to 5, but he only had 4 cards in hand.
Oh, I thought he had 5 in hand.
No, he only had 4.
Wow.
So yeah. Yep. So well.
Argus wins.
Good job.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Waylon seems fine, I guess.
So we didn't really get to see much of the Argus deck.
Damon was right. And
that's all that matters. And so that's all the splash you need is a Cortex lock and a Psychic Field.